Okay, I've been to every single Disney World restaurant at this point, several of them multiple times, and I am still getting shocked by Disney restaurants. So I'm going to tell you about a few of the most recent shocking experiences here on DFB Guide today. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Now, Walt Disney World's dining scene is constantly evolving. You guys know what I say, the only consistent thing about Disney World restaurants is that they're inconsistent. And while a lot of the food and drink we try meets our expectations for better or for worse, every once in a while we have a meal that really shocks us. And today we've got 4 that threw me for a loop recently. So whether it was stellar food and unexpected value or a very, very, very long meal, these are Walt Disney World dining experiences that shocked me. Let's start with Cruz Cup. I'm so excited to tell you about this. First up, it is rare that I have a meal at Disney World that I love so much that I want to have it again the next day. This does not happen very often. And this was a meal so good that I had to go back for more within days. I think I actually had this meal 3 times within 5 days the last time I was there. And that doesn't make any sense for me, you guys. I can't be spending money on stuff that I've already eaten just a couple of days prior. My job is to eat a bunch of different things so I can tell you guys about a bunch of different things. So when I give in to my cravings to have the same thing over and over again, you know it's a serious deal. It doesn't make sense for me to spend that money. Okay, you get it. So this wasn't even a proper restaurant, so to speak. This is Cruz Cup Lounge at Disney's Yacht Club Resort, and it's been a sleeper hit for me for years. I really do like it there. It doesn't require advanced dining reservations. It's warm and cozy and not really all that Disney-fied. You don't see sort of Tinkerbell in the corner or too much Mickey-shaped stuff, but the food and vibe here have been great for years. Now, when I was at Disney World last month for Food and Wine and Galaxy's Edge, I was actually in a meeting and we met at Cruz Cup to have our meeting. And I had heard from a friend of mine that the prime rib sliders were a standout there. Now, I'm not a huge prime rib fan. I'm also not a huge slider fan. But when someone tells me something's really good at Disney World, you know I'm going to grab it. So I got the prime rib sliders. Now, this is sliced prime rib on the Yachtsman Steakhouse onion pull-apart rolls that are really, really good. Now, the sliders are served with spicy horseradish cream, savory au jus, and they're actually on the appetizer menu. So they're not even like a meal, so to speak. So if you want French fries, you have to like order them on the side. But I gotta tell you, these prime rib sliders are so much more than the sum of their parts. I don't know why they're so, I know why they're so good, because they come from right next door to an excellent steakhouse where people really, really know how to cook their meat. And those onion rolls are amazing. And so they're basically starting with really good base ingredients. So anyway, these were so delicious and I had to go back for more. So a couple of days later, I talked a friend of mine into going back with me. And then a couple of days later, I talked another friend of mine into going back with me. So I do think I had them 3 times. And they really were the best thing I ate all week, and I'm still dreaming about them. So for someone who's not super big on prime rib, not super big on sliders in general, that this was the thing that I really need to go back and eat ASAP, that is really saying something. So if you're at Cruz Cup, make sure you request some beer cheese for your fries too. So order those fries on the side, and they have beer cheese that comes with the loaded pretzel at Cruz Cup. So see if your server will get you some beer cheese as well. They make it special in the kitchen for each loaded pretzel, so it's not just like a big vat of beer cheese, but ask them if they can make it for you. It's definitely worth it. So you definitely want to grab that beer cheese. But even if you don't get fries and beer cheese, just the prime rib sliders with that amazing au jus is so good. So that's a DFB pro tip you'll want to tuck away for a hungry day. And that beer cheese is A+, 10 out of 10 would recommend. In fact, I insist you get it. All right, let's move on to the Twilight Feast. So this is the next meal that shocked me. And it shocked me for a couple of reasons. First, it's room service that actually tasted hot and fresh, which is a rarity, unfortunately, in Walt Disney World. Believe it or not, I do get room service in most of the hotels I stay in just to try it out, to test it out, to see how it is. And most of the time, it is unremarkable. Sometimes it's downright cold, sometimes it just doesn't taste good and there's nothing special about it. It's always way too expensive, obviously it's room service. So to have the Twilight Feast delivered at the Polynesian Village Resort and have it be hot, fresh, and super delicious. That never happens in room service in my experience, so that was awesome. Shocker number 1. But on top of that, the Twilight Feast is ohana dinner that you can eat in bed, which is crazy. Now, you don't have to eat it in bed, but you can eat it in bed because it's room service. So the Twilight Feast has been offered via in-room dining at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort for years, and it's basically everything you love from dinner at ohana: spiced chicken wings, teriyaki noodles, grilled meats brought to you in your room at the Polynesian. So it's $60 per person, which is very steep compared to the $45 or so per head in the restaurant proper. But this Twilight Feast is massive, so I can't imagine anyone actually finishing it. So you could probably split that $60 Twilight Feast between 2 people and have it basically come out to $30 per person. So I'm here for it. It's so good. It was so delicious. So definitely, if it looks like it's going to rain one night, or if you need a night in the room and you happen to be staying at Polynesian, definitely order the Twilight Feast. Hidden gem. A lot of people don't know it's there, so you definitely want to grab that if you happen to be lucky enough to be staying at the Polynesian Village Resort. I stayed there for one night. It was horribly pouring rain outside, and that's when I ordered it, and it was so worth it. Now, something to note about this, though, is that it is not all you care to enjoy. So if you run out of shrimp, you can't call room service to bring you more. You could try, but they probably won't. And we thought the quantity of the sides might be a negative for some people. There's really only a couple of chicken wings, a couple of pot stickers. So ask them beforehand. And if there's things you don't like or are allergic to, like shrimp or any of the various meats, etc., then you can probably ask them to replace those with a little bit extra of something else. So if you really like all of the components from the ohana meal, from the loaf of pineapple coconut bread to the full bowl of salad to a big wedge of ohana bread pudding and everything in between, this will work for you. One last note, your ohana bread pudding in the Twilight Feast won't come with ice cream on it. So when you place your order for the Twilight Feast, you can also order some vanilla ice cream. You'll get a full pint of Haagen-Dazs vanilla to enjoy with the bread pudding and hot caramel sauce. So the full experience, you just have to ask for the ice cream separately, and that will also add to the cost, of course, so factor that in. All right, the next shocking meal that we had was at the Wave of American Flavors. The Wave, ... of American Flavors. Why did they do that? I don't know. That is over at Disney's Contemporary Resort. So we had breakfast here recently, and breakfast has always been pretty decent here, but there were a couple of things that happened on this particular morning that were quite surprising to me. So the quality of the food, the various breakfast menu options for the price are great. It's a really, really good meal deal. Now, the Wave is fairly unique in that it offers both a breakfast buffet and a la carte options. So there really is something for everyone here, but it's the prices and the quality of those offerings that we found surprising in a really good way. But don't worry, I've got another surprise for you a little bit later when we're talking about the Wave. Anyway, the breakfast buffet at the Wave has signature items like those sweet potato pancakes with honey pecan butter, so good, and classics like eggs done a few different ways, including a savory chorizo scrambled option, some eggs benedicts, several options. And of course, there's bacon, fresh fruit, etc. So the price for the buffet is about $22, which if you've eaten at a Disney World buffet, you know that's a great bargain. But here's the second thing that shocked me. On my most recent visit, I also discovered a perk of the buffet that makes it even more incredible. And I'm going to share that super secret DFB dining tip. So here we go. There's no omelet station at the Wave's breakfast buffet, but there is an omelet on the a la carte menu. So if you ask your server for a customized omelet and tell him or her what you'd like, the kitchen will make you a to-order personalized omelet at no added cost. So you get the breakfast buffet for $22 and you get the bonus omelet for free? Like, that's amazing. So the a la carte options usually come in under the price of the buffet. Nothing on the breakfast menu is over $20 here. And the super sweet and craveable glazed donut French toast, no joke, I actually ate it. It's crazy sweet. But that's just $15. We found it to be very shareable. But all that is to say, the Wave ... of American Flavors breakfast is shockingly good and shockingly affordable as far as Disney World table service breakfast goes. Now remember, this is just walking distance from the Magic Kingdom, So it's a great place to grab breakfast before you head into the Magic Kingdom for the day. You guys know we always tell people to save even extra money by doing a brunch instead of a breakfast, lunch, dinner situation. So maybe go hit up extra magic hours in the first couple of hours at the Magic Kingdom, then come over to the Wave, have $22 breakfast, super cheap, and then head back over to the Magic Kingdom. And then you're pretty well taken care of until a later dinner. All right, the next restaurant that shocked us, we're going to talk about Takumi Tate in Epcot's Japan Pavilion. So Epcot's Japan opened its very first signature restaurant in July. We knew we were in for some exquisite and thoughtful Japanese cuisine. We knew the restaurant would play on natural elements. It has a certain Zen kind of feel, but we were not prepared to sit there for 4 hours while we enjoyed the restaurant's omakase tasting menu. Yeah, this was a shocker for sure. The omakase tasting menu consists of 6 courses plus a tea ceremony, and they're all very thoughtful and made with impeccable ingredients and left us feeling like we'd really experienced fine dining. But 4 hours in the middle of a theme park was a little bit too much. Now, to be fair, it was the restaurant's first night, and there are always some wrinkles to iron out, and the service was lovely. We were not in any way made uncomfortable by the length of time, but we do think the pacing could be a bit different. Now, again, this was one experience. We have not gone back to double check and see if it's still that long, but we have heard from others who've been there that it is still kind of a long experience. So be prepared for that if you decide to do Takumi Tate. In the meantime, you could potentially order the a la carte menu to cut down thing that you are going to kind of plan your Epcot day around. I think that's the kind of level of quality and service you're going to get there. So if you do want to head over there, then don't plan too much else for your Epcot day and make sure that you make Takumi Tate your top priority that day. So there are a bunch of restaurants that shocked us on recent visits. We always go back to its change. So we always want to make sure we give you the most up-to-date experience that we can so that you know what you're preparing for when you head to Disney World and if these restaurants are going to be right for you and your family. So I hope that helped you a little bit. I hope a lot of you go to Cruz Cup and get those prime rib sliders until they take them off the menu. So good, and I can't wait to go back and get them again. So I thank you guys for listening. I thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing if you're a subscriber to our channel. We would love to have you subscribe and be a part of our family here at DFB Guide. Let us know in the comments what you think about these restaurants. Have you been there? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Has the menu changed? We want to hear your experience as well. This is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.